10. Looks like Sean Nicholson. No, let it go. Oh, Saunders back into the pack. Takes Sponsor. Donovan's in it. Sean English is in it. Oh my God.
Caution! No way. Or he's gonna dive bomb him. Here he goes. He's gonna try a bump. All the way to his bumper. Can he shove him? Can't do it. Dylan Ord is gonna win it here in Iowa.
Bump and run! Oh, he's done this before!
Bump and run the 61 to the inside. Can he make it work? He's got it.
Inside of the 0-2. He's sliding! Oh, Burrows is around! Oh, the wrecking right in front of him. That's Mokrin.
Jones, great run on the high side.
Drive off the corner and
They're gonna be side by side. This is gonna be a photo finish 3 wide out the wire. And that's the stripe. It's gonna be Ruggles! Oh my God, what a finish!
iSCAR is in. We're up and away. Green flag.
61, Dominic Howell.
Oh, he gets hooked! Oh my God! Hard into the wall! Huge track on the start-finish line. Who comes out on top?
Dallas Mayan wins.
Dallas Mayan wins it! What? Make quick work of that number 9 of Eric Andrews. Andrews washes up the racetrack. Oh, what's going on? Oh, no! Oh, they're gonna be wrecking. That's the big one. Oh my God, Connor's involved. They're still wrecking.
We welcome you here live for the iRacing Martinsville Speedway iSCAR for you to get a graphics design series getting set for 150 laps at Martinsville. My name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Welcome to the broadcast.
It'll be a fun one as we get ourselves set to the green flag coming soon as currently these drivers working around the racetrack trying to get as much practice as they can. We'll come to the racetrack, see surface and see where everybody is running right now. But yeah, Martinsville Speedway, short track racing, 28. Looks like 30 drivers here at Martinsville, so it's going to be hectic. There's a lot of points on the line for this one. Oh my gosh, that's a big pile up. Okay, hopefully that doesn't give us. Hopefully that doesn't give us a bit of foreshadowing what's going on. But anyway, with 30 drivers here on the racetrack, a short track, things are bound to go bad. So I'm expecting some interesting stuff. And with 30 drivers, a lot of points are on the line here for tonight. I see Liam Sheen is there, just laying on his side. Not the first time he's been there, and it's sort of reminiscing of what happened to Cup Race. But anyway, Dewey, currently a minute remaining in practice. It's hard to hold our laughter in because it's worrying right now, I guess you could say.
This is just slowly lowering my expectations. I was kidding. Well, you mentioned the points. The entire chase is separated by just 4 points. So, as you see, Nick Miller and Aaron Mulrooney both with 2,004 points, and the rest of the chasers, all the way from Harry Grindle all the way down to Derek M. Smith, each have 2,000. So, this is a golden opportunity in this race. If you can survive the craziness that will inevitably go on, you can position yourself for a deep run to the playoffs with this many points on the line, because you can really separate yourself from the rest of the field.
Yeah, but that also comes with an incentive, because if one of these chasers wreck, they're going to be in a really, really deep bubble right outside that top 7 coming into next week. So we'll have to see on how that'll turn out. But as of right now, practice is dwindling away. We're going to go ahead and scoot ourselves to the side and play the national anthem. Rise out, remove your hats as we salute our nation's colors. We welcome you back live for the iSCAR Peter Kenny Graphics Design Series here at Martinsville Speedway down in Virginia. Of course, we're on the virtual side of things because in the real life side of things aren't going well, but we're not really going to dive deep into that, but we're going to focus into qualifying as these people work themselves around the racetrack. Currently up front, it's Aaron Mulrooney in the number 2, but yeah, lots of people here for tonight. I'm worried. But at the same time, a lot of excitement coming in here for this 150 lapper.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm also pretty concerned about what we might see here tonight, but at the same time, I feel like there's going to be a lot of potentially interesting racing. I think it might end up being similar to what the Cup race at Richmond was like. We had like a ton of early cautions, and then about the midway point, we finally broke out and had a decent run. So maybe it'll be something like that. Maybe it'll just be wrecks throughout. We'll have to see. But with 30 people at a track this small, I don't know.
That means qualifying is going to be really essential on how this field will get set up and how this field may take.
There's a lockup.
How the field will most likely pan out here for this first half of the race, but right now these people working themselves around the racetrack.
There's Matthew Klein taking a lap. See Kendrick, one of our 10 chasers. He crosses the line somewhere. 12th looks like. I believe Nathan Stewart currently sits on top in the 13. Not in the chase, but a solid run nonetheless. And there's Tua Mulrooney tied with Nick for first right now with currently second. So good run for him so far.
Here was a person who was fastest in practice, that number 66 of Derek M. Smith. Just about locked it up off the corner, hopped the curbs, and he's going to stop it right before the start-finish line. So Derek's going to have to work himself back into the racetrack and make something happen on that. It's one lap, so we'll see if Derek can snap the pole.
We'll have to see. We saw something similar in the real-life race at Phoenix. Austin Dillon locked up his brakes into turn 1, and then rather than just sucking it up and going across the line, he turned around and drove around the entire track backwards and restarted his lap from the front stretch. So we've seen crazier things, but looks like Derek's trying something similar, and we'll see if it works.
Right up against the curbing and works himself right off the corner, and we'll see where he is. And across the start-finish line looks like drumroll, P3.
Wow, that did work.
Stuff around, so waiting for maybe Gabe Allen to maybe log in a lap. Kiloa Hankins, he's out on the racetrack just practicing. He's already logged in his 2 fastest. Currently setting 19. Brendan Sampson and at number 96, he's gonna be sitting P11 right now. But yeah, By the looks of it, Aaron Mulrooney, the number 2, is going to be the highest chaser here coming in for this first lap.
Decent amount of people haven't taken a lap yet either, unless some of those people aren't going to end up starting the race, but the ticker disappears as I'm saying something. Yeah, it looks like about 10-ish cars haven't taken a lap yet, so I don't know if those are people that are going to hang around in the back for a bit, or if some people are just going to head themselves out before we start, but interesting to see almost half the field not, or about a third of the field not take a lap.
Honestly, I'd start myself in the back because this first portion of the race is going to be so hectic with a lot of wrecks and such like that, so I'm interested to see on how this will all play out as you see right in front of your screen. We're starting to grid up here for tonight. We're going to go to the front and roll off the order. Starting up front is number 13 of Nate Stewart. Get to grid up on the racetrack, but we'll go ahead and pull up grid order right in front of your screen. Nate Stewart going to be starting in first place. Alongside of him, Aaron Mulrooney Jr. going to be starting in second.
Row number 2 will give us chaser Derek M. Smith, and to his outside, the 57 of Corey H. Hartz.
Row number 3 going to be Harrison Chandler and Cody Webster, and that number 6, P6, number 45 got eliminated first round.
Row number 4, 2 chasers in this row, and Nick Miller in the 9, and to his outside, Ryan in the 65.
Row number 5 is going to be Christian West in that 075, making his first Xfinity start. Colton Lights in the number 18, returning here tonight on the iSCAR scene. He's going to be starting 10th. The rest of the order is going to be shown on your screen as we get ourselves set up for the green flag this time here in just a moment. Drivers will have to log in at least 2 laps, so but yeah, a lot of big names starting toward the rear of the field. Keaton Jones, one of those drivers who's a chaser. He didn't qualify. He did qualify, but bad qualifying position for him. Noah Hankins as well. He's toward the back, but not a chaser. Ian Raleigh Cowell, he's been in victory lane this season, just recently. Josh Patterson still yet to return to victory lane after last season's dominance. But yeah, again, a lot of drivers here. We're scrolling all the way back to looks like the 32nd, 33rd row. 33rd.
That's messed up.
It is. I just noticed.
Something got messed up somewhere. That's not right, but
yeah,
you get the general idea of where people are. Just little number gaff.
All right, here we go. Coming to the green flag soon. Track facts on the bottom left side of your screen. 78 miles we're going to burn here for tonight. 150 laps in total. Fuel window should be around every 70 to 80 laps. Might be a bit shorter, but here we go. The pace car is off on the pit road. We set ourselves sight to the green flag. That number 13 and Nate Stewart lead the field to the restart. Green flag is out.
Green flag.
150 laps is underway.
2 cars door banged before the start-finish line. I think that was Cody Webster and someone else, but you mentioned a lot of early contact. They're already hitting before they even crossed the line to begin the race, so they're not wasting any time beating and banging now.
Eric Grindle in the number 70. He is not logged in a lap, and there's 5 cars who look like they're not starting the race. One of them is actually a chaser. It just mentions his name, Harry Grindle, that number 70. He's gonna have to make something happen as they work themselves through the corner. Nate Stewart, the 13, is still up front, but he's getting challenged by that number 66 at Derek M. Smith, and here he goes. Smith to the inside.
Yeah, it looks like Nate hit the curbs out of turn 4, and that will open the door for that 66 to make an early move to the inside. So, early chance for Derek to pick up a bonus point for leading a lap if he can hold off that 13, which is key with how close the entirety of the chase field is in points.
Correct.
And that didn't take long. Ooh. And, he spins right down in front of the field. That's the 34 of Sheen, and Lights is in there as well.
Sheen whips himself around, and we work on our first caution of the day, and that's unfortunate for that number 34. Of course, not a chaser here for tonight, but we're going to see what happened to that number 34 as they work themselves into the corner. Might have had a bit of contact there with that number 52. Yes, he did. Let's say the 52.
Oh, wow. And Sampson in there, Granada. I'm not sure who that black car is. Looks like Hankins is in there as well. A lot of cars were damaged, at least 4 or 5.
Honestly, that's just short track racing damage. She's not going to be killed from that wreck, but unfortunately he is going to be set back multiple positions with that one, and some more disconnections, stuff like that. I don't know what's going on, but pit road's going to be open. I'm pretty sure the back half of the field will scoot themselves onto pit road like that, but it looks like Brendan Sampson, well, he's already on pit road, now scooting himself out, but Kiloa Hankins going to hit pit road, Noah Allison, all the back half of the field, the people who want to lay back are
Looks like Kean Rally Howell didn't start either. With his ticker doesn't have anything below his name.
Yeah, Kean didn't start, Christian West didn't start, Peter Kenny didn't start, nor did James Hill, number 49. He didn't start either, so.
And you mentioned Grindle, so Harry, if Harry doesn't get on track at all during this race, he's going to be put in a huge hole starting next week. Because he'll be much, much lower than pretty much anybody else in the chase, unless any other chasers end up having some problems.
And at a track like Martinsville, there's so many laps to be logged here. You could go so many laps down, and of course, DNF will cut out your race. Harry, he has a running motor, but I mean, still yet to connect to the session. Interested to see how the 70 will, if he does reconnect, on where he will be for these next, I guess, 3 laps once he does reconnect. Go this time by Derek M. Smith. Now retakes the lead from the number 13 and Nate Stewart. And I do see the glitch with the ticker. I think it happened around Dean Rally Cowell is 26. I don't know why the ticker's like that, but in the meantime, the pace car is going to scoot itself on the pit road. The 66 of Derek M. Smith will lead the field at the restart on the high side, and Nate Stewart, one who started on pole, tried to attempt to get a jump. The green flag is out, and Derek is gone.
He already goes up high to potentially block, and might be some contact here into turn 1. They're definitely contact as Matthew Klein gets sent up the hill, but luckily nobody spins out as a result of that.
Yeah, they're double wide all over the place. As you see there, the 45 of Webster is giving that number 2 Mulrooney a shot through the corner. They're side by side for second place as the 13 and 8 just about bounced off the wall in the front straightaway. These cars are running fairly tight, hence why everybody could keep it straight. In the Cup Series, we had multiple cautions because many people were losing it right up off the corner. Speaking of losing it, around goes Klein.
Yellow flag is out.
No caution. There it is.
Also, just a lot of single car wrecks. I'm going to see what happened to that 00 Matthew Klein as he scooted himself on in. Working to the underside of that 77, Keaton Jones, and it looks like, wow.
Lost it.
I was talking about tight cars, and unfortunately for Klein.
Looks like he's on the other way around. Looks like he's too loose.
Yeah, too loose. Usually these Xfinity cars are snug. I didn't expect a car to break loose like that, but that's unfortunate. And we work on our second caution of the day. Yeah.
Could see some more early pit stops as well, like we saw in the first caution. Guys in the back got nothing to lose.
Yeah, you see people hitting pit road on the front of your screen as they work themselves around these paperclip, right, like racetrack. Everybody from, looks like 20th on back, hit pit road.
Which is only about 5 or 6 cars, I believe, with the amount that didn't start. Either way, a decent amount of people.
Honestly, I'm surprised how clean restarts are, but we're so early into a race. I can't judge off of 2 restarts. Maybe on the later end of the spectrum, I'm expecting everybody to shove it into 1. But everybody's giving each other room. I'm liking what I'm seeing on the racetrack. There are people with 4Xs and 8Xs already.
Yeah, they'll have to watch out as a 17X will give them a drive-through penalty, and a 22X will result in a disqualification. So guys with 8X already only 13 laps into this race. They got 138, 137 laps to go still. So these guys that are racking up incident points this early are going to have to be really careful the rest of the way as to not be disqualified early.
Right, great point right there. That's why, to keep yourself into the back, maybe, I guess an incentive, you keep yourself in the back to pull yourself out of harm's way, but if a green flag does ensue, you might get lapped real easily. So I'm interested in how everybody will sort out for these first, I guess, 100 or so, or 75 laps. That's the halfway point, but here we go, getting set for the green flag. The number 66, Derek M. Smith, will lead the field to the restart. Most likely take the lead going into 1. So it's in the 4, and Derek is going to hit the throttle now. A bit of a jam up right behind. It's semi-important, in fact.
Yeah, a car blinked on the inside, but that didn't seem to affect. Looks like the stack up was actually on the outside, but...
That's Miller! Oh, that's going to be a big wreck.
Around. Oh, that's a huge crash. Wondering just piled in as well. And... Oh,
still wrecking. It's Keaton Jones also involved. The 46 in Dadgar.
2 chasers at least involved in that.
He tows it for some reason.
I wouldn't have towed that. But we'll have to see what that whole deal was. But oh, they were 3 wide into turn 1, and looks like Sylvia and the 778 just got in the nick. They all stacked right. Whoa, Allison, holy crap.
It looks like the 46 did get some type of damage.
See Burgee also involved in that in the 83.
Yeah, no, Allison.
Yeah, they.
That's Alice K. Great's the one to take it 3 wide into 1. Looks
nowhere
like,
for Liam. Oh, nowhere for Dario to go, and nowhere for Liam Sheen. He got clipped in that as well. Yeah, Nick with a lot of rear end damage from that X. Hopefully that's just cosmetic, and you mentioned short track damage earlier, but it looks like he's got a little bit of front end. We'll have to see if this affects his performance at all, and as he comes down pit road now. So, as well as Keaton too, as Nick entered this race tied for the points lead, and Keaton's whole front end is gone. That's going to be this might be one of those deals where he just soldiers on and tries to just survive to the end. So that accident pretty detrimental to the chase field, and still a long ways to go. Probably not the last time we'll see a chaser around, unfortunately.
Lap 20 out of 150. We're through the race, but a long ways to go. ATV's racked has estimated at least 45 minutes of racing remaining. But yeah, a lot of people made contact in that wreck, and of course, those incidents are going to rack up. I see a person already with 16X.
Yikes.
Yeah, Glenn Bundren has 16X. He's the one who finished toward the top 5 in the Cup race, and we ran 250 laps here. I mean, there in the Cup race. I don't know how long ago. It looks like a month ago, but Alex K. Gratz, or I forgot how to pronounce his last name. He's sitting with 12X. Bolton Lights has 12X as well, so as well as Keaton Jones in the number 77. But here we go. Getting set for the restart. The 66, Derek M. Smith will lead the field to the charge, and he's going to stack the field up just a slight. Hit the throttle late. Rack up on the way here at Martinsville.
Yeah, I think for the rest of this race, Glenn Bundren needs to put some bubble wrap around his car, because if he gets in one more incident, car in it. As Gabe Allen is very slow out of turn 2. I'm not sure what his problem is, but he just did not go out of 2 at all.
Well, Rooney to the inside for position. He's been trying that low side, but Nate, it seems as though he could pinch right up off the corner and get that car load up on the high side. So we do have a wreck in the background again. Looks like it's the 72 Akiloa Hankins. No, it's not. I don't know who that car is all the way to the low side.
Well, I think that's that's Colton Lights of the 18. You just mentioned him with incident points. There's at least probably 4 more.
We'll see what happened as they scoot themselves. Jake locked it up as he entered 1 and might have hit the wall. Yes, he did. Everybody jammed up and wow,
Hankins
that's a big
hard
hit.
into the wall. Yeah. Yeah, they just stacked up. I think Samson got into Colton Lights and nowhere for him or Kalo to go in that. Yeah, Sylvia got loose out of 4 and smacked the wall and picked up, and there you see Samson getting the lights, and that's that. And absolutely nowhere for that 72 to go.
Yeah, as you said, I guess you're just about a iSCAR version of Larry McReynolds. You just called it. The first half of this race is going to be all about survival, and unfortunately, well, I guess fortunately for you, but unfortunate for the race itself, it's going the way as you predicted. Lots of people are getting eliminated here in this first 25 laps. You have multiple people with incidents, and you see Glenn Bundren there on the pit road.
Yeah, there are some times I wish I was wrong, and this is one of the times I wished I was wrong. I don't know if Bundren got any incident points there, but he's on pit road regardless. Any more for him, and he'll end up getting a drive-through. You see Nick Miller, our chase leader, coming into the race, back down pit road again as well. So this is, I think, our 4th caution already? 5 or something like that?
It's 4th.
Yeah. Yeah, 18 of our 25, soon to be 26 laps under caution, so. Under this trend, there's really not a lot of opportunities to pass under green with the cautions just piling up now. So if you're going to make a move, you need to make it quick and you need to make it stick. Because if you can't, you might end up being stuck in your position for quite some time.
That's very true. These leaders have yet to hit pit road, though. Last time, we'll actually pull up. Last time these people pitted, Christian West. That's a bit of a glitch right there.
Yeah, he didn't start.
So the person on, I guess, the freshest tires, Joe Berge, in that number. Joe Berge in that number 83. Has 15 lap old tires, but of course you gotta include cautions and stuff like that. Now we started the race with 32 drivers. Now we're left with 23. So
about a 4th of the field already done. Yeah. Yeah, 4th of the field's already out, and we're not even about a 6th of the way through. And we'll try again.
iSCAR scoots itself down on the pit road for the 4th time tonight. Derek Smith will lead the field to the green. We're back up and away here at Martinsville.
Clean so far out of turn 2 as Derek continues to lead, and Colton Lights is stopped on the inside.
Letting everybody by since he just got off the pit road.
Yeah, he's already 3 laps down, so probably just be riding around till the end. See a battle here, that is between Ryan Kendrick and Harrison Chandler, and it looks like Harrison can get that position for now. And in turn 3, Harrison, I think, will get it here over one of our 10 remaining chasers, Ryan Kendrick, coming in one of the 8 that have 2,000 points, so it is imperative that Ryan gets himself back up towards the front, including by Harrison, to gain some more points by the end of this race.
He's still running toward that top 5, honestly. By the way.
Again. No caution, though.
Scrambled right behind, but
I don't know if there was a wreck or just like a save, I don't know, but no caution nonetheless. Yeah, Kendrick's already near the front, as you said, but points are points, so the more you can get, the better position you'll be in.
Now we're starting to get into a rhythm. To work themselves out up at the corner. The 57, the Corey H. Hartz, Harrison Chandler, all running out in the top 5. Now we see the 65 of Ryan Kendrick. Off through. Here we go, a bit of side-by-side racing right behind. Here comes the, it's like the 34 and 54 racing tracks for Liam Sheen. They're going to duke it out as they enter 3. And it's Joe Burgee, the 83, the one to watch. From Webster, really nowhere to go as of right now. He's going to have to watch from, it's like 10th place as he shoot out of it right up in front of him.
Yeah, these top 3 looks like they've separated themselves a little bit from Hartz in 4th, so those top 3 already establishing themselves as the... Uh-oh, and Burgee is gonna hit the inside wall, and that should bring the caution out again, I would imagine.
Yeah, it hasn't been called. He's semi-off track, but there he goes. He's going to get himself out on the racetrack, and there it is.
There it is. There's Keaton going by, and we'll have to see what happened. Oh, yeah. I guess Karma had it out for Burgee because he sent it in there and hit the curb, but Burgee ended up being the one that spun out.
He locked it up on the entrance of the corner, and of course trying not to dive bomb that 34, but trying to get the nose in as much. He semi got loose into the corner as well. But unfortunately, you know, when you lock up the brakes like that into the corner, all you're heading towards is toward that safer barrier and toward the car on the outside. And unfortunately for that 83 of Burgee, things just didn't go as planned, I guess.
And at a track this narrow, you really don't have anywhere to go to miss guys like that. Pretty much the only other option is just flying down pit road, and even then you might end up hitting the barrel. So if you end up doing that, you're probably going to hit the wall or hit someone else. So that was our longest green flag run of the race. I believe we doubled the amount of green flag laps just in that little span there. So had our first little bit of green flag action so far. And we see some more people down pit road, including our leader, Nick Miller, or our chase leader.
Yeah, a lot of people hit pit road this time by, so we're going to scoot out the pit road panel and see where everybody is. But a lot of people also stayed themselves out into the racetrack. Actually, I'd say they're hit pit road. Everybody from 5th on back hit pit road at least once. So, I mean, hit pit road this caution. So, yeah. Now this top 3 is going to be all with old tires. I'm interested to see with this new tire model and how they're going to hold off Derek M. Smith, Nate Stewart, and all these rest of the field. Just fresh rubber.
So it looks like Mo Rooney is the only car on track that has not been down pit road at least once so far today. I'm interested as to why he has not come down unless he plans on running out the fuel window here, as the other leaders did make themselves down.
Yeah, definitely. For that number 2, Mo Rooney, you can stretch it just to pit coming in once. I guess track position wouldn't really hurt. You had multiple cautions except for that last run to the green flag, but here we go. Mulroney's going to hit the throttle real early, shoving up Webster.
Green, green, green.
And that was a flag maybe still holding the caution flag. But the other thing for Mulroney is if he can stretch this out and maybe his tires end up being good enough, we'll have to see, but this is an opportunity here for him to put down some laps led. at least one bonus point. Maybe if he leads enough, he could end up getting the extra one for the most laps led. So could be a points call here as well, potentially 2, as Klein stayed out and looks like he's just letting guys go on the bottom. But yeah, I think this is a points call for Mulrooney for now. He's definitely got the car to do it, though.
He has a person right behind him who has fresher tires than him. We'll see if he can hold him off. Oh, Webster actually tried to pull him off the corner. Worked themselves into 1 and 2. Webster's going to lose a bit of momentum, and now Derek can go ahead and pounce. Coming into 3, there's at least a car link between Webster and Mulrooney now because of that momentum change, I guess you could say. But
oh, Nate just bumps Derek out of the way for 3rd. And here comes Hamilton trying to complete the pass. Derek, I'm sure, will not be too happy about that. And Corey H. Hartz will look to pass Derek as well. So not only will Derek be passed by Nathan, he'll be passed by Corey as well. So Derek already back down to 5th.
Derek won the Cup race here this season.
Yellow flag is out.
We have a yellow flag yet again, right behind. Looks like it's at 52, Michael Kenner. He's turned around.
And we'll have to see. And I guess he just, I don't know why he came up in front of Trexler like that, but he wasn't clear regardless. I don't quite understand that. Looks like Mulrooney's staying out again.
Actually, you know what he did? He passed the pace car and he didn't get the chance to pit because you have to be behind the pace car to hit pit road, and unfortunately for Mulrooney, yeah.
Hopefully he's not black flagged at all for that.
I mean, he didn't hit pit road. He's just gonna have to let the pace car by, but he didn't get the opportunity to hit pit road. So that means these people right behind who hit pit road are gonna shuffle out in front of that number 2 Mulrooney, and we're gonna see if Mulrooney is gonna hit pit road this time. And it looks like he will. Yeah, hitting pit road late, unfortunately, is definitely gonna cost him a lot.
I think that's Burgee getting the wave around here. So I think he'll be back on the lead lap now. Not sure how many lead lap cars we have. It looks like there'll be 19, including that 83. So still a decent amount of field on the lead lap since there's been so many cautions. There really haven't been any chances for those leaders to really catch up to the guys in the back and put them laps down. So
here's Mulrooney. We got a bit of a issue with Derek and Smith. It looks like wow, Derek. That's a disconnection by the looks of it. Derek is out of the race. I don't know. We'll have to get some type of update, but that was definitely not crash related.
it should be noted also that Harry Grindle did end up getting onto the track.
Yeah,
He's currently 31 laps down, but if some more chasers do end up in incidents, he could potentially pass some. But he does find himself in 25th, down 31 laps. So
right, but there's multiple. You can go ahead.
Or did end up joining in. So I'm not sure why Sylvia's that many laps down either, unless he also disconnected.
He disconnected.
Yeah.
So
A
for
good
Harry,
whoa,
that was weird.
I don't know what that.
For Harry in that 7-day machine, he could pass up to 5 cars as of right now. Derek disconnected, Keaton Jones disconnected, Alex K. Gretz, excuse me, Alex K. Gretz disconnected, Kiloa Hankins disconnected, as well as Jake Sylvia disconnected. So he could gain at 5 more spots, and he's sitting 25th with 32 cars who started the race. Still a lot to be gained after this one.
Yeah, and with the amount of cautions you've had so far, I wouldn't be surprised if we see more disconnections before this one's all said and done. So the opportunity to gain even more than 5 spots does exist, and the field will round themselves out of turn 4, and Nate hits the gas, and we're back green at Martinsville.
Yeah, it's a different top 5 except for Nate in that number 13. He's going to shut the door on that number 57 to Corey H. Hart. Hart's has had actually a decent run. He started all the way in 4th place. Is now trailing right behind the leader, and you see right there the 65 of Kendrick. Whoa!
Whoa! Big wiggle from Drexler, but he managed to hold on to it. Oh, someone's ball machine. Harrison Chandler with a solid run as well, currently running in 3rd place for that 22. Good to see him up there as well. And there you see Kendrick, currently the highest running chaser, I believe, in 4th, which is very good for him and his chase hopes. As Nate continues to lead now as we've hit the 1/3 mark here tonight.
With only, I'd say 22 cars left on the racetrack, multiple people with damage, of course. We still have 18 cars on the lead. No, yeah, 18 cars on the lead lap. I thought it was 19. Well, lights is multiple laps down, but I'm pretty sure we'll get a solid green flag run in, but knock on wood, I'm not sure. I see a bit of battling right behind. Number 2, Mulrooney wants to work himself through. He's now worked himself into 2nd place, of course. He was the first person. He hit pit road late, so he had to start all the way at the tail end of this lead lap. All the way maybe towards back 14th, 15th place. He's going to work himself up into 8th.
Nice crossover move by Webster. So you see Webster going underneath that 54 of Trexler for 7th-ish? Something like that. Somewhere in there. But a nice crossover move for him, and you see that cluster right there of Mulrooney, William Schmidt, and Nick Miller there. Mulrooney and Nick came into this race tied for the points lead, so these two... Whoa! Another good save by Trexler. That's 2 times he almost wrecked, but 2 times he didn't. I wouldn't be surprised if Mulrooney might end up tapping him again. This might be one of those deals where Mulrooney's telling him to get out of the way. And it looks like Trexler... And I think Trexler gave him the bottom. Yeah, I think if Trexler didn't give him the bottom, I think Mulrooney might have tapped him again. But up, give another position in that 2 cars. Nate Stewart's pulled away big time from that 57. Almost 2-second lead now.
At a track in which you have to shift your car, we'll get an onboard of how Nate Stewart's running it through the corner. Nate.
Nice battery.
Yeah, I know. Roll bar cam. But it looks like he's not shifting it through the corner. He's just hitting his marks so well throughout through the corner. I expected some people to downshift it, especially at these low of revs. But right now, Nate Stewart in that number 13, he's just hitting his marks and he's pulling away.
Yeah, whatever he's doing in terms of shifting or not, it's working for him. So I wouldn't mess with success now.
Right.
He's pretty much checked out on the rest of the field now. Now that we've had a green flag run like this.
Now with most of the field spread out and such like that, we'll take a look at where everybody is running right now. We'll start up front. Nate Stewart in that number 13. Of course, he won the Watkins Glen race over the number 66, Derek M. Smith. He won the pole here tonight. Not only is he good at the road courses, but here he is, dominating on the ovals.
Well, short tracks, but yes, it is an oval, but Corey H. Hartz finds himself running 2nd right now for Peak Performance Motorsports. Solid run for him so far. Hasn't quite led a lap yet, but definitely in contention to, even with that gap between him and Nate. That's like the 3rd time I've done that tonight. Yikes.
Harrison Chandler in that number 22. A great story behind this number 22 machine. Of course, running the Autism Speaks machine. He finished all the way, I think, in 3rd or 4th. That number 22. Great interview for him. You should tune in in our archives. But yeah, a great man under that number 22, Harrison Chandler. I'm looking forward to seeing how he performs during these next 100 laps.
4th place gives us the 65 of Ryan Kendrick, and he gives us a little wiggle out of turn 4 there, as he is still our highest running chaser. So with the entire chase field being at the same amount of points besides Nick and Aaron, a really good opportunity here for Kendrick to really give himself more points on the rest of the field. And if the running order stays the same at the end of the race and he wiggles again, he must be really loose. But if he can stay where he is, he can position himself really well for the rest of the season.
Scroll back 1 position to the 45, and Cody Webster got eliminated in the 1st round because he didn't make enough races, but luckily for him, job's just getting away, unfortunately. But the 45 finds himself out on the racetrack. Right behind him, it's the number 2, Mulrooney. He's duking out with Mulrooney, of course, pitted late. He locks up that left front into the corner. Mulrooney slowly tracking forward toward that top 5 position. He's currently now backed up in 6th.
7th place gives us the 34 of Liam Sheen. He has been in at least 2 or 3 incidents so far tonight, but still finds himself in a decent top 10 run. We saw him almost win at Mid-Ohio before he, I guess now famously, lost it in one of the turns, but he's had a decent season so far, so a run like this tonight, really good for momentum-wise for the rest of the year.
William Schmidt. And this kid's popular. Ever since he won Michigan, all eyes were on him, and he's still in the chase as of right now. Came in 7th in points. Of course, everybody's tied with 4th in points. Excuse me, 3rd in points. So
With everyone else, basically.
yeah, just about with the rest of the field, but the rest of the field who's in the chase. But yeah, that number 79 currently running toward the top 10. Having a solid night here tonight.
And the 9th, one of our championship leaders, Nick Miller in the 9, tied with Mulrooney at 2,004 points. I don't remember the exact races, but he has won races this season. My mind is blanking on me right now, but a solid season overall, not just in the Xfinity Series, but across all 3 series. But a solid run for him tonight so far, but I'm sure he'd like to pick up a few more positions than he currently has.
Scroll back to one more position, and this is probably going to be the final position to read off. That number 83, Joe Burgee. A bit of left front damage on that machine, currently rolling around with just a 4X. Joe, his luck's not been on his side, but just this week, finally, things just went his way. He finished in the top 5, I think in either the truck race or the cup race, but that number 83, currently running 10th. He started all the way back in 30th.
Yeah, by far the biggest jump in positions. That is a 20 position gain, so a really, really nice run for that 83 so far. And we see a battle here, I think that's for 11th. That is between Grayson Trexler on the outside and Josh Patterson on the inside. And it looks like Josh will get that spot.
Working right up the 1 and 2, and this is where the leader is. How about the 45? That's not the 45 of Cody Webster. Nate Stewart is actually gapped so far in front of Webster. He's starting to put some people laps down, so everybody.
Yeah, 4 seconds.
Like,
there's
yeah,
Klein. I think Klein's more than 1 lap down, but
he actually is.
I think that's Sampson in the 96 in that blue car up there. Yeah, it is. There's Kenner in the 52. I think Kenner is the first car a lap down. Either him or Klein is.
I expect it to be Matthew Klein.
So if a caution were to come out, that 00 would be your free pass recipient. As we have now hit the halfway point in this race, as we have completed 75 of the 150 scheduled laps, as Nate Stewart's lead has ballooned to almost 4 seconds now over that 45 of Webster. So Nate definitely with the dominant car of the night, and here comes Mulrooney for, I think, 3rd on Hart's. So another valuable point for that 2 cars. He continues to march towards potentially the championship 4.
Yeah, that number 2, Mulrooney, of course, he pitted last time by, had to start toward the rear end of the field, and now he's working himself back up into 3rd. Unfortunately, he's 5 seconds behind that leader, that number 13, and Nate Stewart. Of course, being the leader, track position just plays so much key. You see the gap between that number 13 and number 2, just about half a track over. That number 13 has over that number 2, Mulrooney, but right now, that number 13 and Nate Stewart set one heck of a blazing pace. His work here, of course, we're past halfway this time by, so now the picture's starting to unfog. We're starting to see our contenders start to rise up.
And we mentioned Harry Grindle potentially gaining some spots on track. He's already gained 4, as we noted him in 25th when he appeared on track, but now he finds himself up in 21st. Certainly not going to win the race by any means, because there's no possible way we'll get 31 cautions. But if more people disconnect or go laps down, watch out for that 70 to potentially gain a few more spots and maybe start to dig his way out of the hole he's in.
Nate Stewart as Harry now moves himself into 20th place.
Harry's now 22 laps down, or 32 laps down.
Right.
when you're that many laps down, it really doesn't make a difference.
Noah getting loose right in front of the leader.
No, we'll just let him go. Yeah, Nate got lucky there, as looks like Cody has gained about half a second back on Nate, but if Cody were to gain some more time, he will have to navigate around that same lap traffic that Nate is now. And it looks like Grayson Trexler is next in line to go a lap down.
That will make probably a 12 cars on the lead lap as Stewart works to the back side of that number 54. Trexler's going to do what he has to do to keep himself on the lead lap, because going a lap down at Martinsville can be really frustrating. Nate's trying to shove the nose at the inside. Lap cars are playing a huge factor in how this third
Cody's
team...
gaining. Nate's lead has gone from almost
Yellow,
4
yellow,
to
yellow.
Got a yellow.
And we'll have to see who it is.
Sure.
That's a question mark.
Oh, got a car stopped on the low side.
That would be it. That's the...
Eric Grindle might have been.
Oh, Barry.
Yes, it was. Unfortunately, man, who's multiple laps down is going to break up a green flag run. And we're going to see what happens to that number 70. The person who got lucky, honestly, was that number 54, Grayson Trexler. You see right there. Here, right in the middle of the straightaway. He lost it off the corner and tried to keep it straight, but unfortunately, man.
Ooh. Almost got into Harrison.
Insulting injury right there.
No, we'll just slap the inside wall for good measures, I guess.
Now that big lead that number 13 had was just a race, so we'll see how Webster will line up with Nate and new tires, and not to mention that number 2, Mulrooney, is going to be back there in the top 5. Have to see on how he'll perform. Pit road is open this time. Bye. Going to scoot themselves on in, definitely for 4 tires, and Sunoco fuel.
As
Go ahead.
you see there in the 25 of Grayson Collins with a blazing fast pit stop of over 2,200 seconds right now, so his pit crew is doing a hell of a job so far here tonight. But I was going to say, I'm not sure who got the free pass, because Nate and Grayson were side by side when that caution did come out, so I don't know who was ahead of the other.
I think Grayson kept himself on the lead lap. It should be, I think, maybe the 14 and Gabe Allen who got the wave around, or maybe the
I think it's Klein. I think Gabe is more than 1 lap down. I think. We'll have to see what the ticker says, but...
It should have gave the person one lap down a wave around, so I'm not sure who got the wave around.
I think Klein did. He's shown not a lap down, so... I think Kenner took the wave round. So
Kenner's right there though. Kenner, the 52's behind Klein. I think all these people are taking wave rounds. I don't know if there wasn't a lucky dog called, but everybody in front of the 13 is gonna have to take at least 1 wave round. I don't know if they're holding off that lucky dog behind the pace car until 1 to go, but let's see. Go this time by everybody right behind the base car in front of Stewart. Gonna take the wave around. It's such a small track that I don't even know. They're definitely not gonna catch up to the pace car. The pace car's already on pit road, so look at that, only about 10 cars to spark off the race.
Yeah, those guys in the back are coming, but they're not coming fast enough, and that sounded really wrong, but the race is now really green, so Nate will lead them down into turn number 1. Already gaps the field just a tad here, because he got a great jump on that restart. And Mulrooney now finds himself up into 3rd. So he is currently now your highest running chaser. But Kendrick is right there trying to pounce.
Yeah, Kendrick trying to fend off that number 57 at Corey Charles. Grindle get himself back onto the racetrack, but 45 of Webster, and now sees his sights on that number 13 is Stewart, but it seems as though Stewart could really pull away for the short run, but of course when he encounters lap traffic, things start to go south from him. Just a matter of how he's going to gap. 45 of Webster.
Yellow, yellow, yellow.
Looks like we got a yellow.
Survey says, it's a 70 again. So that's 2 in a row for Harry. He must have a really, really loose car. I wonder if that's why he didn't start the race. I wonder if he thought he was just too loose to race and just decided not to, and then thought of it, because that's the second time he's just lost it like that.
This time in the middle of the corner, backing himself back into the racetrack. And that'll mean all the people who got the wave around, well, they're going to be, not only can they pit, but they're going to be caught up with this leader, so.
Lucky break for them. Looks like Josh Patterson, one of those people who will take advantage. There's Klein, who got his lap back on the last caution. So a couple guys will... There he goes for what I would assume would be fuel and tires.
Yep.
So
Didn't run as many laps, but you can go ahead.
Just over 50 to go. We're about 2/3 of the way done, so we've had a few more longer green flag runs than
Webster
earlier
hits
on
it.
in the race. What's that?
Webster
Oh,
just
what?
hit pit road.
A couple other guys did as well.
Nick Miller.
Miller's in, and I think that's no Allison also.
Right.
And
Surprised.
Sampson. I'm surprised the Miller pit, but we've seen it multiple times this season where Nick has done or has chosen questionable strategy calls on pit road, but he's ended up proving us in the booth wrong. So perhaps Nick is doing something that we didn't think of, because in all likelihood he is. I will give him the benefit of the doubt because he's proven that he deserves it.
Fuel window is around 70 to 80 laps. I don't know if they want to top off on fuel and hopefully catch a green flag run, but that 13 and 8 Stewart was saving a bit of fuel that last caution. Honestly, with this caution, I don't think fuel is even going to matter anymore.
Yeah, even if you pit now, there's, about 54 laps to go. So if you pit right now, you'll have enough to make it to the end, and you'll have enough for 3 green-white checkered attempts. So fuel, if you pit now, should no longer be an issue as we go forward.
Yeah, definitely get themselves to the start-finish line. That means Mulrooney. That number 2 will be starting up in second place. And that number 45 of Webster is tracked all the way back down to the P12, so.
As the whole field is now caught up this time, which is good. As Ryan Kendrick starting behind Nate in third. So what I'm going to watch on this restart is whether Kendrick can try and get underneath that 2 with Mulrooney or not, because that will be what could end up being for the points lead after this race is over. Nate, step on it, and we're back underway.
Looks like Mulrooney got in front of that number 65. Mulrooney cleared that number 65 into turn number 1. Now he's going to have to get his pace on to the backside of that number 13. And the man who started, looks like, I think, in second place. Tracking down your leader, that number 13. And he was our fastest car on the racetrack. That one big green flag run. We'll see if that number 13 is Stewart can fend off challenge for the lead. Goes through the corner, right up off the turn. Lots of cars are getting very loose off of that second corner.
Yeah, well, it wasn't in the second corner, but we have seen Harry really loose because he's brought out the last 2 cautions from self-spinning. So perhaps the cars are loosening up a bit as the race goes on. Because you were talking about earlier, a lot of guys were running tight in the turn. So
Right.
perhaps it's rubber being put down or something. But looks like in general the field is much looser than earlier on.
Still works to the backside of that number 13.
We'll have to see how Aaron sets this up, because I'm sure Aaron definitely wants to pass for the lead. But there's a time and a place to do it, and I don't know if you want to bump and run with 48 laps to go, because that gives a lot of time to get bumped back.
I just put the pressure on him and force him into a mistake. Mulrooney actually driving in himself a bit deep into that corner, washed up the racetrack at turn 1. Now, Stewart, they're about equal as of right now, but you can definitely tell that number 2, Mulrooney, is faster than that 13. And once these two go side by side, that's going to allow the 65 of Ryan Kendrick to go ahead and whip himself forward. Hard with this top 2 as here comes Mulrooney. He's going to peek his nose to the inside.
And he's going to get there as Nate could not come back down, and we will be side by side for the lead into turn number 1. Nate led the lap, but Mulrooney has the preferred line.
Yellow.
Oh, and
Wow, we got a yellow.
Unrelated caution. Oh, Burgee, not again. Burgee was running in the top 10. And his bad luck continues here tonight.
It looks like just loose off the
Lost
corner.
it. Kept it off the wall, though. I'm sure he'll come down pit road and slap 4 new tires on it, but unfortunately for him, he did not hit anything. Which, at a track like this, is hard to do, so... It's too bad he spun it, but props for not hitting anything.
And that came out at a nicely timed for that number 13 and Nate Stewart. We decided, oh man, we got some people in pit road, but it came out as soon as the battle for the lead started to heat up at its peak, when Mulrooney peeked himself to the inside and he locked up the brakes entering 1. Those two actually made contact. You see a bit of right front damage on that number 2, but yeah, if it weren't for that caution, I think the 13 wouldn't be up front.
I think Aaron would have definitely gotten by him, but yeah, we saw Ryan Kendrick come in. I think Harrison Chandler came in. Someone overshot their pit stall, but a couple cars pitting now. Not exactly sure why, but I'm sure they know something.
Yeah, you see this Chandler working himself off a pit road there. 65 of Ryan Kendrick scoots himself off. You see the 02 of Josh Patterson, the 79 of William Schmidt. I think it's Gabe Allen in the number 14. He's going to get the wave around and get put back on the lead lap. Top 5 going to be consisted of... Top 5 consisted of Nate Stewart, Aaron Mulrooney, Corey H. Hartz, Liam Sheen, and Cody Webster. Webster putting a couple cautions ago. He's worked himself back to the 5th. The only thing that separates him between him and that number 13 is that number 57 and Corey H. Hartz, but just to see on how this will play out to Nate Stewart's favor as we got the 1 to green this time by, and only 40 laps to go. It's going down to closing time, and as those laps wind down, the intensity rate ranks up.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to go green with about 40 laps to go, so we are closing in on the last little stretch here of the race as the pace car says goodbye for now, and the green flag says hello, and Nathan Stewart will lead us to it.
Put themselves into 1 and 2, and now on the high side, the 34 Liam Sheen sails it deep into the corner, and side by side with the 45 Webster. Webster will be able to clear as Klein gets real tight off, trying to tag the wall, but
I think that with 3 wide, he didn't have anywhere to go low. I think he kind of got forced up there and had no choice.
Schmidt having a bit of an issue, but battle for the lead is heating up. And how about the 57
Yellow, yellow,
Corey
yellow.
Charts? Oh, looks like we're gonna have a yellow.
Another caution. And this time it is. Yep. Just lost it into 1. It looks like he's disconnected.
Oh yeah.
I think he just called it a day after that. And yeah, I mean, Martinsville can be a long race, I guess. If you keep doing stuff like that, I'd be tired of myself too. So I think he just packed it up and called it a day.
Gonna rebunch up everybody again, but you know who's sneaking up here? It's that number 45, and Cody Webster, who just hit pit road. I mean, he hit pit road 18 laps ago, but that's a 10-lap difference between him and the top 2. So it's sure to see on. This will all play out to Webster's favor coming to this next green flag, but you only have so many laps left. With this caution coming out, it just gives Webster another chance to go gun for the lead yet again. And he's going to be starting on the inside too. Around the corner, we're gonna go through the top 5 fairly quickly. Nate Stewart has led the most laps, and that number 13, Mulrooney, is second. For 45, and Cody Webster going to be in 3rd place. Corey H. Hart, who's had a phenomenal run, in 4th. Liam Sheen currently rounding himself out. Actually, Nick Miller rounding himself out that top 5. So, of course, with only still over 30 laps to go in this race. Who do you see being a contender here at the end?
Well, definitely the guy. I would say everybody in the top 5. Nick Miller hasn't really been in the top 5 most of the race, but he finds himself there now. And with all these points being on the line, I would expect Nick to be really aggressive in this last stretch of the race. But Nate and Aaron definitely the 2 dominant cars today, so I'd expect them to stay there, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Alright, 1 lap to go. Nate Stewart will lead the field to the green flag yet again. The interesting part, how that number 13 does on restarts, he starts in the middle of the corner, and of course, starting on the low side, gives a smaller radius to that inside line. So the 13 and 8 Stewart, what he does is he washes up the track. That number 2, Mulrooney, so he's going to have to take the wider arc right up off the corner.
Green flag,
and he
green
gets
flag.
the pull. You see right there, that's a perfect example of it. Not only that, he's going to put these 2 right behind, side by side. Nick Miller's going to go around.
Oh,
no.
Yellow, yellow,
Ian
yellow.
Hart's. Nick actually saves it, but Corey H. Hart's, unfortunately, will go back around. And Colton White's in there as well, and we'll have to see what transpired.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. It looks like Miller, oh man.
I think he just got loose into 1, but Nick was able to save it, but Chandler just missed him, and yeah, it looks like everybody else missed them, fortunately, but that might end up losing Harrison Chandler some spots, but I'd rather lose some spots than pile into someone else, so good job on his part. We'll have to see if anyone else does. I think at least one person in the top 10. But there's Trexler, that's at least one, but I think he might be the only car on pit road, which is kind of surprising. But if we see a caution with about maybe 10-15 to go, I could potentially see some top 5 cars maybe gamble and come down for some fresh tires.
Yeah, with only about, I'd say, yeah, there's only 14 cars on this lead lap. Actually 15, as the 52 is going to take the wave around. If you're within that top 5, it's definitely viable to come down onto pit road. And I'd say, now we're going towards the end of the race. These cautions are going to come out left and right. You have to pit around, I'd say, a lap, I'd say 20 to go, honestly. But pitting with 15 or 10 to go won't be enough time, especially if there's a lot of cautions there toward the end. It won't be enough time to work yourself back to that lead, so I'm interested to see on how it'll all play out for Nate Stewart. He's sort of in a weird position right now, not knowing what these people right behind are planning to do. Coming down here with just 25 laps remaining. Very
Sorry about
serious
that
on this.
Facebook notification there.
You're fine.
That was really loud. I don't know why. It wants me to check. All right, so Facebook notifications aside, we look to have about 27, 28 laps to go. More like, something like that. Mid-20s, nonetheless. So definitely in the closing parts here. So not much time left to make any sorts of moves, and we'll have to see which ones are made here.
Green flag this time by. Webster gets pushed up the track, and the green flag is out. They're going to be side by side. Most likely for second place, and Les Mulrooney is going to slot in behind the 45. Mulrooney wants to drive it into the corner, maybe bump that 45 up the hill. But speaking of bumping, he's bumping the leader, that number 13, right up off the corner. Webster is coming, but can he get the pace down? Catch that number 13.
Mulrooney has to be careful of how he approaches passing Cody Webster, because if he makes the wrong move, that 65 of Ryan Kendrick is right there. So Mulrooney's got to... Actually, Mulrooney and Kendrick both have to play this really interestingly, because they do want to move themselves forward, but they don't want to do anything too crazy that would end up forcing them backwards.
Yeah, this top two, they're going to be within they're going to have a dogfight for this lead, because they're not in the chase. They have nothing to lose. But the two and the 65, if they do get caught up in some sort of issue between this top two, oh boy, that's game over for their chase. Unless they can have a miracle. As you see, the 13 washed up the race at the 45's inside.
Webster. Oh, Webster got loose on the bottom. Nate's going to keep the lead, but Mulrooney gets by Webster for second on the outside with that bobble.
Whoa, man, the two just locked it up onto the entrance of the corner. Gets bumped by the 45. That's going to lose him a bit of time, and
Here
Nate's
comes
just
Webster again on
checking
the
out.
bottom. Webster really drives it in deep, gets into Mulrooney, tries to send him up the hill, but can't quite do it. And this battle gives Nate the opportunity to give himself a little bit of breathing room between these two. So the Mulrooney and Webster battling like that, that's exactly what Nate wants to see out of his rearview mirror.
Mulrooney has to keep in mind of that left front tire. He was locking it up twice in a row, entering 1 and also entering 3, but now Nate Stewart has a breathing room between him and the 2. The last thing he wants to happen is a caution to rebunch this, to rebunch everybody, make them fight into the turn number 1. So 20 laps to go. It's go time now as Webster is putting the pressure on that number 2 Mulrooney, but of course Mulrooney, older tires on that machine. I'm curious on how it'll pan out for him as they work themselves right up off the corner. Stewart's sort of losing time there, just by his slight, but it's opening up the door for that 2 Mulrooney to go ahead and pounce. It's a matter of time before that lead.
Well, I think Nate has older tires than the other 3 do, though.
Wow.
I think Nate stayed out a lot longer than those 3 did, so this could be tires coming in here as Mulrooney has closed that gap Don't count out that 65 of Kendrick. These top 3 have been battling a lot here, but Kendrick staying with them as the top 4 have gapped themselves a little bit from 5th on back.
Knowing that that number 2 is faster than that number 13 and 8 Stewart, if you're in the 45's position, you want to pass that number 2 of Mulrooney as soon as possible, or lay back until those leaders get side by side, then decide what you're going to do from their point.
Well, there's no guarantee that the leaders end up side by side. It's a really interesting decision because Nate could end up holding off Mulrooney. We'll have to see how this all shakes out, but if I were Cody, I'd wait a little bit, because if you bump Mulrooney too early, you know for sure with Mulrooney in the points battle the way he is, he'll probably bump you right back out. So I think I'd wait until maybe about 5 laps to go to try something like that.
Now, I'd expect a caution to come out here within a 10 to go mark, but if the caution does come out, these leaders are on such old tires. Kendrick has just about 10, 15 lap old tires, and you're leading this whole top 3. So
I think Kendrick, if a caution were to come out, I think Kendrick's for sure is going to stay out.
right, you have to stay out if you're Kendrick. I mean, the opportunity is right in front, but
Yeah.
this top 3 is going to be in a weird position because,
I mean, sure even in their points position with tires that old, if the rest of the field decides to come down pit road and you stay out, you might get pounced as soon as the restart comes out. And here comes Kendrick trying to get by Webster for 3rd. Cannot quite do it yet.
he's been within a car distance between that number 13. They say Kendrick and Mulrooney, but matter of time. These 2. Before the gap between those 2 is going to close, because I feel like Mulrooney has the drive, but he used up a bit of tire there. Of course, locking up that left front didn't help his case. He locks it up again. He's closing in on that 13. But Stewart, all he has to do is just hold off that bottom. But of course, the only way to open up the door is to, you know, bump and run. Oh, Kendrick's real sideways.
Fortunately, he doesn't spin out, but
Yellow,
he
yellow,
will
yellow.
Got a
lose
yellow.
some-
We got a
Oh,
yellow.
boy.
Wow!
Crash. Nick Miller, championship leader on his roof. That is huge.
Now, well,
Oh boy.
well, yeah, that's a rip.
That didn't look intentional at first, and then it looked intentional about halfway through. Yeah, I think Corey just drove him into the wall at that point. Yeah, that's not good. Yeah, it looks like Corey just got loose or something underneath him, and then it looks like he just... Yeah. And that's huge for Nick Miller's championship hopes, as I think Harry Grindle is the only chaser below Nick currently on track.
Now, do you hit pit road or stay out? Wow, I am genuinely surprised. With just 10 laps remaining, nobody in the top 5 hit pit road. Actually, nobody on the lead lap hit pit road.
Wow. That might be the shocker of the race, that no lead lap cars... I mean, even the guys in like 14th or 15th, I don't know why they wouldn't pit. I mean, you got nothing to lose at that point. If you're already 14th or 15th and you're on the lead lap, what do you have to lose? Because you're not going to lose any spots on track, even on the restart. That's... Unless someone comes down now, but... Still doesn't look like anyone's coming down. That's really, really surprising.
And that means everybody... Oh my goodness. So shocked that everybody's going to be on the same...
This is Kendrick's chance, because we looked at the laps since last pitted, and it looked like Kendrick, I think, had about 15-ish lap fresher tires than the top 3 did. So we'll have to see what Kendrick might be able to do here compared to the top 3.
of course, with it's like 7. We're gonna take the green with 6 laps to go. Still a lot of time for anything to happen. This is going to be madness from this point forward. Webster's gonna be littered all over the 13. It's just a matter of how you're gonna work the restart and get yourself in position coming towards those final, I guess, 3 or 2 laps, but here we go.
I can see someone spinning the tires here, but I hope no one does.
Green
They
flag.
got a bit
green
sideways contact there with the
No,
45 of
Mulrooney
Webster.
I think Mulrooney didn't get going that well, and Webster will take advantage of that, and he will go up to 2nd place with just 6 laps to go.
Now, of course, Webster has fresher tires than Nate Stewart. He could about 9 lap, well, I mean, 9 lap fresher tires. You see the contact
Car
right
on
in
the
the
wall.
background.
I think that was Liam Sheen in the wall, and I think Kendrick brushed the wall to turn 4 as well, but no worse for wear for that 65. As they're going to be coming up on just 4 laps to go, so these guys are running out of time.
Whoa,
to make
Webster
it
sideways.
really loose.
That might have handed the win to that number 13 and Nate Stewart, but they worked themselves side by side. That's what Stewart needs to see in his mirror.
Mulrooney just trying to get back to 2nd. That's another valuable point he can pick up here. It looks like Kendrick's going to dive down as well. We'll have to see. Webster's holding on the outside for dear life, but he's really loose. He just wiggled again. Trying to hold on, but as you said, this is all Nate wants to see, is he's really starting to get himself a little gap here between these couple drivers.
Kendrick gonna shove it into the corner. Webster all over that door, that number 2, as they work themselves right up off the corner. 2 laps to go for Stewart. If a caution comes out, oh my goodness, what will happen from that point forward? Mulrooney locks it up into the corner. Webster watches up the track.
Kendrick to 3rd now, trying to get to 3rd. Webster trying to hang on the outside. The white flag is out at Martinsville. We do not have a caution. This is it. All the marbles pushed into the table now. What can Mulrooney do?
Big wreck right behind as the 54.
Oh, Bergie into the wall big time. That's really too bad.
Oh, Kendrick sideways, he overcorrects!
Overcorrects it into the wall.
Stewart's gonna go up and away with the win!
Ethan Stewart wins at Martinsville. And that's huge for Kendrick in the points, because he just lost all of his track position right out of turn number 4. Whoa, man. But congrats to that 13 of Nathan Stewart on an absolutely dominant performance here today at Martinsville. And he will burn it down at the paperclip.
Great win for that number 13 and Nate Stewart to hold off a charging Aaron Mulrooney. They got single file right behind. If there was more laps into the book, honestly, I think Mulrooney would have had a great shot. But of course, just running out of time, unfortunately, and Nate Stewart's going to burn it down here in the front stretch.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happened with the 65 of Kendrick, but I think into turn 3 he just got loose and then overcorrected right into the outside wall. But for the point standings, that spin is going to be huge, because that just cost Kendrick a good 10, 12 points, depending on where he ended up crossing the line. And we'll have to see what this big incident was as well that we saw in the background.
Ryan Kendrick will end up in 10th.
Still a top 10, but that's 7 points, or 6 or 7 points he ended up losing in that spin. And we'll have to see what happened with Bergie as well, because he got turned hard in turn number 2 on that last lap as well.
Like,
Well, there's Bergie. I think Josh Patterson got into him, and then up the track he went right
where
into
to go.
the
He's a chaser.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Kendrick, yep, overcorrected it.
Wow.
Yeah, we saw in the background while Nate was burning it down, Joe Bergie slammed Josh Patterson after the race, so I think now we know what that was about. But either way, when the dust settles, Nathan Stewart, your winner at Martinsville. And the rest of your top 10 shown on your screen. Aaron Mulrooney finishes in 2nd. Actually, one of only 3 chasers that ended up in the top 10, so big points day for that 2 team. Cody Webster, eliminated in the first round, will finish in 3rd. Solid day for Harrison Chandler in the 22, rounds himself out in 4th, and okay. So I guess we're just going to go to 11th now, forget the rest of the top 10. Grayson Trexler finishes 11th here today. Liam Sheen in the 34, 12th. Courier Charts, who has been removed from the league for that incident with Nick Miller, 13th. Come on! I'm trying here, man!
Sorry.
All right, well, there's the rest of the field. Half of them didn't start anyway. Let's just go do some interviews and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go to commercial break, interview top 3. Be right back right after this. We welcome everybody back live here for the iSCAR Peter Kenny Graphics Design Series. Martinsville 150 at Martinsville Speedway. Of course, we're going to go ahead and interview, dive deep and interview our winner into the booth. We'll go ahead and drag in. Let me go ahead and drag, pop up the interview panel and drag in the number 13 and Nate Stewart. And my goodness, man, a dominating win. Not only that, 2 in a row here for iSCAR, man. Wow, that was amazing. That was an amazing performance to hold off that number 2 Mulrooney in the 45 of Cody Webster.
My wheel fell off on the white flag.
Is that why you locked it up into 3 or something like that?
Yeah, because my wheel was like falling off on the last run, and it actually fell off my rig with when we got to the white flag.
Wow. Well, I guess that had to be a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I guess just walk me through that white flag, I guess.
We came off of 4. I felt my wheel really loose, looked down at it, and it was off my wheel plate or whatever. And I'm like, what do I do now? So Aaron agreed to just stay behind me. That way he can get some good points, and I somehow managed to come home with the win. I'll tell you what, these new Fanatic V3s that I got really do make a difference compared to my Thrustmaster T3 PA pedals. This load cell brake really helps out a lot at the road courses and short tracks like this.
Yeah, definitely, man. Rolling speed through the center of the corner, and of course, braking at short tracks mattered here the most. And man, you nailed down your corners, and you pulled away to, I think it was like 4 or 5 seconds, 4 or 5 second lead before the caution came out. But man, it had to be good under the hood there tonight. How was the car?
It was actually pretty good. This is actually my first ever short track race on the new tire model. It was really tight after a couple laps, and it started loosening up. Then it started to want to get tight again, and I don't know. It was back and forth with it, but tires didn't seem to matter, but they kind of did seem to matter at the same time. Like, yeah, when Webster got tires and me and Mulrooney were on old ones, you know, they were coming through the field, or he was coming through the field, but he got to me, and then, you know, he just couldn't get past me. I mean, I might have put him on the curb, but that doesn't matter. You know, it was a new experience, and I definitely think I'll be able to like carry this knowledge when we like actually go to Martinsville for official.
Yeah, definitely, man. You're one of, if not the fastest person on the racetrack. Of course, you said first time on a short track with the Xfinity car here. With the new tire, yeah, otherwise than that, I have nothing really else to add on to that. Any sponsors want to take care for tonight?
Same ones as last night. Commonwealth Stain, Sim Performance Group. Want to thank Aaron Mulrooney for like helping me out during practice and stuff, and because, you know, me and him are really good buddies, and, you know, he helped me out quite a bit. Unfortunately, it was the reason he lost, but I'm not going to complain. DJ Harris Designs, I know I don't have a no number paint on, but whatever. So you just saw my default car, but I always run custom numbers, and DJ Harris Designs always paints my cars. That's who painted it last night, and I forgot to mention him last night in my win, so I feel bad for that. Toyota, you for putting iSCAR on. It seems to be easy to win now that Foggingham's gone. Just kidding. But yeah, it was a good race. I appreciate you putting it on and letting me come out.
Man, 10-4, Nate Stewart making the best of his opportunity here tonight to pick up a W. 2 wins in a row this week. We're looking forward to seeing you out coming onto the track for your next race, man.
Appreciate it. See you later.
And that was Nate Stewart in the number 13. Congratulations for him on the big W, and we're going to scoot ourselves back to that number 2 of Aaron Mulrooney. Do we go ahead and take this one?
All right, Aaron, you got a copy?
Yep.
You seem to get second a lot recently. I've been interviewing a lot recently, but I'm sure you're pretty happy about this second place because you are going to leave Martinsville the points leader for the Xfinity Series. How does that make you feel?
It was pretty good. I was mostly working with Nate Stewart throughout the entire night. I definitely want to thank him. I mean, frankly, we couldn't have if when we worked together throughout that entire race. I was able to get a 1-2 finish, and I'm just very happy to work with him, and hopefully we can do it in the future. But back to your point, Dewey, about the whole point situation. I'm looking forward to it. I feel that was probably going to be one of the hardest races, especially with how how caution happy the track is, and we're able to get a nice second place finish out of it. And I'm just looking forward to the coming weeks.
Yeah, we were just talking to Nate up here, and he mentioned you helping him out in practice, and he joked that was the reason why you lost. But overall, how was your car tonight throughout the race?
Our Ford Mustang was pretty nice throughout the night. I personally liked how it was on the long run. We were able to, Cody Webster and I were actually able to work through the pack during that during that middle run. And we basically were able to work through the field and get I believe Cody got third, and we were just able to work our way through the field. I really liked how the car handled tonight. Just didn't have it for Nate, but hey, drove the wheels off that thing.
Literally, yeah. Yeah, solid run for you overall. Before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank for tonight's effort?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Nate Stewart for helping me out tonight. I'd also like to thank Proximity Racing, Splasco Graphics, Trace Sodersworth Images, All Serve Garage Doors, and I'd like to thank you, Dewey, and Zeke for broadcasting. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Thank you, too. Aaron Mulrooney, your second place finisher and your points leader in the Xfinity Series. Good luck next week.
Thanks. Have a good one.
You too. That was Aaron Mulrooney Jr. in that number 2 machine. We're going to screw ourselves back one position to that number 45 of Cody Webster. And Webster, you got a copy?
Yes.
Hey, man, I know it's been a while since you hit the racetrack, but hitting the racetrack here at Martinsville, getting yourself back situated into a nice rhythm and coming home third. Man, a great effort here tonight.
Yeah, it was a great effort. It was kind of like a last-minute thing to do it. I think I joined in right when qualifying hit, so I really had no clue what to expect. Kind of winged it with brake bias and steering ratio, and ended up qualifying 6th, I believe. And I was just trying to do every strategy different than the leaders. I drove through the field, I think, 3-4 times. And at the end, that last restart, the tires, I guess the cycle on them, they were not gripping. I had a shot at Nate, got to the inside of him, flipped the curb. Probably should have used him up a little bit, but all in all, it was a good race. It was a good finish, a good battle up front at least. It was actually clean up there. So between Nate and Aaron, we were racing pretty hard but clean.
Yeah, definitely, man. That top 4 were all under a blanket. You, Kendrick, Mulrooney, and Stewart all in the mix for that final run to the finish. If you had anything, if you could change something in the race, besides obviously coming up front, but if you could just change your strategy up just a bit, what would have been that final caution you decided to stay out? Would you have came down then?
If it would have happened a few laps prior, the caution, I would have came in. But looking at it, and I was talking to my teammates, I'm like, so we're only gonna have 4 to go, so it really wasn't. I don't think I could have probably drove through the field, again, in that shorter time frame. I would probably need an extra help on another caution. Aside from anything differently, I actually like my strategy. That one run we were having, I think when Harry spun out, I was actually catching Nate, and I was on a different strategy then. Kind of wish it would have stayed green. But, I mean, the only other thing I could probably do differently is probably just use up Nate a little bit when I actually got to the inside when he kind of missed turn 1, I think it was. But besides that, we were just burning our tires off, just trying to keep up with him on the short runs. And my not having all the practice that I could have had, my restarts were definitely not up to par. I was kind of struggling with them, so I was losing a little time there. So I got better with them, obviously, as the race went. But he already had control of the race, and I wasn't going to dump someone for the win. So it was a good race, and I'm happy where I finished, considering I haven't been racing a lot lately.
And man, before I let you go, any sponsors you want to thank here for tonight?
Miller Motorsports, Webster Motorsports, all the guys over there helping us out. Just talking together, getting the rhythm going during the races. Obviously, you broadcasting all this and running the whole entire league yourself, you and Dewey. I've been doing commentating too. And also my league, Redline Racing. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Airman 10-4, Cody Webster going to round himself out third after starting in 6th. We'll go ahead and see you coming on to next week, man.
Sounds good.
45 Cody Webster, and after that, congratulations to the number 13 and Nate Stewart picking up his third iSCAR win of the season. But before we end out the broadcast, what you think of tonight's race?
Well, it ended up being similar-ish. I mentioned in the pre-race that it would probably end up being similar to Cup at Richmond, and for the most part it was. Had that huge cluster of early cautions, and we finally broke free with some green flag runs, but when we finally did get those green flag runs, it was a pretty solid race overall, and it was good to see that the dominant car of the race this time ended up closing the deal and got the win.
Yeah, definitely. Nate Stewart put himself in a nice position to stay out there on older tires, keep himself up front, and he won it here tonight. Congratulations to Nate Stewart, and with that being said, my name is Ezeckiel Reyes.
And I'm Dewey Schramm. Be sure to come back for next week's iSCAR action. Starting on Wednesday night, we have the Super Late Models at Southern National. Friday night, we have the Truck Series at Charlotte. Saturday night, we've got the Cup Series at Chicagoland. And finally, Sunday night, this Xfinity Series will find itself in Phoenix. So be sure to come back for more iSCAR action. And please, for the love of the people around you and for the people in our society, please stay safe, wash your hands, and follow the CDC and your local health official recommendations to help prevent the spread of COVID-19. Please. Good night.